If many of you know this about Canada, you would have thought twice before coming to this country. Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your girl Ade, and this is Life with Ade. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about propagandas that I wish I never fell for coming to Canada. And because, there's a lot of immigrants in this country, and there was a lot of things that we heard before coming to Canada, a lot of things that were now, if you really think about it, it was very, very misleading. And you're just like, how did I get here? If I had this clarity beforehand, maybe I would have just made a different decision. Maybe I would have had a different mindset. Just maybe a lot of things were like, oh, if you get to Canada, this, that. And we're experiencing another thing generally. So this video is titled Propagandas I Wish I Didn't Fall For Coming to Canada. And for you that you're not in Canada and you're looking to like travel soon or coming to Canada or just traveling anywhere, these are the propagandas you should not fall for. Because there's a list. It's very long. They'll tell you this, they'll say that. But it's left for you to filter out and be like, I've watched this video. I need to reset. So now let's get into it. Number one propaganda, number one for me that, a lot of people say and we keep, like we know a lot and we just keep saying that Canada is a land flowing with milk and honey. Don't get me wrong, Canada is a very, very nice country to live in. It's a country of so many opportunities and everything. But let's be realistic. As immigrants moving into this country, Canada is tough. There's a lot of harsh realities that come to you because you're not accustomed to the kind of system they operate in this country. Like let me tell you, there's things that you're hearing for the first time. I came into this country, like when I got into this country in 2018, there was a lot of things that were very new to me. And there was a lot of things that was actually very interesting. So for example, I got into the country when I was 17 and I discovered that I could walk. Remember, the Nigeria that I was coming from, I could not work, right? So I got to this country, I'm like, this is a very great opportunity at 17. Like, I'm not even an adult yet, and I can have my own money, I can earn my own paycheck and all those kind of things. And I figured out that it's not even from 17, from 14 years you can work. My brother started working at 14. And you're just like, oh, that's very, very liberal. That's a very nice thing. But I kid you not, sometimes I take a step back and I relax and I'm like, what was life before paycheck? What was life before earning all this money? What was life before bills? What was life like before I had to start worrying about all of these things and I started to live this kind of life? It's not wrong. It's part of growing up. It's part of developing yourself. But sometimes you're just like, how did we get to this point? So many people have that sort of like, it's like a transition from where you're coming from into Canada in this case, it's not like that. It's totally different. It's totally two different parts. It's not a transition. It's like you're forgetting everything you've learned and you're learning something else all over. So it's a land filled with milk and honey though, but it's not like accessible. It's not like you get there and you're like, oh, milk, honey. No, it's you that will go and dig for that honey. You will go and milk your cow for that milk. It's not just accessible. You have to work. And unfortunately, because of this mentality and because of this kind of brain that people come to this country with, we have a lot of sad stories, right? Many people they end up being homeless. There's like a pandemic of homeless people, homeless international student, right? That people that just, what they become even worse than they were before they left their country. I heard you to like this video, comment, subscribe as you're watching because you would enjoy and learn a lot of things. Another thing that if I had to do this again, like I will not fall for, is the fact that whenever you like, if you get to Canada, you're already rich. Some people have a strong mentality that all you have to do is leave your border. All you have to do is leave your country's airport. All you have to do is to just escape and enter Canada. For the longest time, this I know this is not realistic, and you people are like, what kind of thought process is that? There are people that genuinely think you come into the country and then money is flowing everywhere. I know, like, I don't mean literally, just symbolically, right? Is that correct? But like the idea is that once you come into the country, everything is easy. You're making money. You come into the country today, next week you're making money. You're making dollars. You're everything. That is very, very wrong. That is a very wrong thought process. That's a very wrong propaganda that people have been promoting. That is just unacceptable. There's the fact that, oh, once I get to Canada, I'm going to be rich. Once I travel abroad, your family back home, they're like, oh, we just need to rake up all this cash. Like, they will go and collect our job, they will collect all this thing. Oh, we just need to be able to send our child out of the country. Once they're out of the country, they will be able to pay back, they'll be able to return and everything. I know that's the goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that is just unnecessary pressure you're like giving yourself or your son or your child or your daughter that you're sending into a new country. If you come to Canada, it doesn't guarantee you to be rich. As a matter of fact, if care is not taken, you might be poorer than you came, right? Like you could be a king where you're coming from and get to this country and you're poor. So there's a lot of things, and people. Another kind of thing, like the consequence of this action is that you are now living in guilt because you know how you left home, and you're responsible to like give back, you're responsible to send back. But then you that you're in this country, you're literally living paycheck to paycheck. And then there are people at home that are just thinking like, why has he not sent us anything? Why are we not getting this? Why are we not getting that? That people just believe that, oh, you're already in the country, you're living a fantastic life. This is very hard. This is a hard truth. I feel like this is the kind of truth or kind of perspective that we need to correct and we need to re-educate ourselves on. Like once you get into a new country, at least give yourself like 2 3 months window. Let you balance first. Let you like calm down. Let you like see the road before you now start expecting to give back home, to send back home. But just because of many situations of how we left home or the kind of horridness we were going through before we left the country, I know it's hard, right? That kind of life is hard for us to be like, I don't have money, I don't have money. And the guilt of the person that is on this other end, like, oh, because regardless, you still enjoy benefits, whether you like it or not. You enjoy free light, you enjoy transport, you enjoy all those kind of things. But now people are not like, you're not expected to send back like, oh, this and that. So we need to re-educate ourselves that before you leave that country where you want to live, before you leave that country, you need to know that you need a certain level of stability if you don't want to ruin yourself before you can start giving back. And that's just fine. That's just okay. You just need to be able to communicate this to the people that are involved, the people that are necessary. Okay, this is why and why I won't be able to do this now. This is why and why I can't send this now. It's simple communication. Another wrong perspective that we get as newcomer coming to the country or as an immigrant coming to the country is that because we are foreign, we are going to be treated better. Just because we're not like we're immigrants here, we're not like citizens of the country, we're going to be treated specially. They will not want to mess with us. They will not, that's a lie. That's just a lie. Stop it. Don't say that again. Cut it. Because you are immigrants in the country is now you they will use more. Like yes, you might be in a circle of people and they're like, oh, because this person is like they're trying to treat you nicely because like we don't want to scare this person, we don't want to. But in the real sense, if you check very well, subtly they are using you. There's a lot of like when it comes to systemic racism, like subtle racism, like you will not know but what they are doing behind you in your friend. And that's one thing about these people. Can they be nice? They are very nice. In front of you, they are very nice. You don't know what's going on. But if you really, really look through and try to understand what's going on behind, you regret being friends with a lot of people. Yeah, this is like conversations that I'm saying out of like experience. We've seen situation that because of the name of a person, they did not get the job. You have all the qualification, you have everything that you need that will make you get that your dream job. But just because your name is too African or your name is not white enough, you can't get the job. Like this is straight up. I can't just be let's just leave it there. We can also talk about the kind of jobs that certain people would not do, certain like citizens of the country will not do them, people that are still in the country will not do them. But is this them immigrants that they are pushing to do those kind of jobs? And at the end of the day, they will not have the audacity to be like, oh, the immigrants are in our country. Oh, there's a lot of people. Like, bro, we're literally saving your ass. Like, if we don't do it, who will? Do you understand that kind of thing? And like we feel like everybody is nice, everybody is smiling. Those people that are smiling, especially you people, if you live in houses that like maybe it's an apartment that it's like rented, you're living in one part and you have like neighbors that are like settled and everything. Be careful. They will laugh to your face for sure. They will say things to your face. They'll be like, but like I'm not saying this for everybody. Okay, I'm not saying. this is everybody. But like there are people that you just need to be careful. Like if you're kind of person you're just like because somebody's laughing with you, you guys are good, you guys are friends, you might need to think again. You might need to think again. Like this subtle racism, they talk about your accent. Oh, why are you pronouncing things like that? Oh, that's how you pronounce. You know, like it's not totally bad. They're correcting you, but at the same time, they should still be able to embrace you for who you are. So for a longest time, I had the perspective that Canada is a very free country, which it is. Canada is a country like there's no racism in the country, all this kind of thing. Country is going well, which is true. But if you literally get to a sector or a kind of a part in your life or an advancement in your life in this country, you're going to see the unspoken, like the unseen. So you really need to be there. You really need to be able to see the things that are not being seen or that are not, they are subtle, they are there. You are not just seeing them. So you need to be able to use your inner eyes to see that for you to now be able to adjust to the system. But if you're coming with the mindset of like, oh my God, America is very racist, Canada is a very nice country, everybody's always greeting me, everybody's always saying sorry, everybody's always you're deceiving yourself. You are a joker. You are a joker. The last one, but not the least, and this one just makes me laugh a lot. And this was because I heard this a lot of time. They will literally tell you once you get to the country, stay away from. I'm saying like Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe this is like similar for, maybe it's similar for other race or like other countries, of the world. But like when I got to Canada, like you hear advice like, oh, stay away from Nigerians. So Nigerians, how they will cover you. Oh, like you need a community. Let's establish that. So if you're coming with the mindset of, oh, I can do this alone, or no, I just need to make some white friends or some Indian friends for me to make it, you might be okay. Yes, you might go far, but if you have a community, I strongly believe you will go further. And it might not necessarily be in your like your career or anything. It could literally be anything. Sometimes all you need is a support. Sometimes all you need is people that can relate to you. One thing for sure that I will agree on is that it's a very lonely country. If you're here on your own, you don't have any support, you don't have people to look that you look like, people to talk to, people that can relate to your pain, then it's very lonely. Okay? So you need to be in a community that for sure, you might not tell everybody your business. They don't really need to know what's going on. But you need to be in a community that even if it's once in a month, twice in a month, when you go, you get the sense of home. You get back your sense of identity. I'm not saying you should not be friends with white people. Then you are only friends with black people, or you're only friends with Nigeria. Or I'm not saying don't be friends with Nigerians. I'm not saying, but you always need to find a balance. You always need to find network. You need to network in everything you do. You need to be able to find a balance between okay, the kind of information you want to listen to, the kind of community you want to be a part of. But for sure, if somebody is advising you not to be whatever you do, stay away from those that look like you, stay away from your Nigerian community, stay away from this thing. They might have a point. They might have experience. They might have heard a story in the past. But at the end of the day, you would, you might gain more from staying closer to the community. And I feel like this is where boundary comes in. Yes, you don't want to tell your business to everybody. Yes, you don't want to let everybody know what's going on in your life. That's totally fine. That's all right. But you still want to be able to gain from that community. For example, in Canada, where we stay in Montreal, we know that for sure every summer is not dull because at least we have like 700 barbecues that we are doing. Church is doing barbecue, school is doing barbecue, community is doing barbecue, Yoruba people is doing barbecue, Igbo people is doing barbecue, Kiniko people is doing barbecue, and all of these things are open. This is not only limited to barbecue. We have the youth organization too that does this and does that and do that. But the thing is that there's a lot of networking that comes from that event. There's a lot of things that you learn from that event. So when you're going with the propaganda of like, I'm not in the country. If it's not white, I'm not talking to anybody. If you're not white, I'm not talking to you. You will be left alone for a while. When Kay first got to this country, he used to tell me that, oh, for the longest time, I'd said I wasn't going to marry a black person. I came to this country, I wanted to marry a white person. Like I was into white girls. I don't know what he have heard. I don't know why he said that, or like maybe what kind of advice they have given to, like they gave to him before he came to the country, but things like that. So if you yourself don't assess your situation, like a white girl in this kind of province, is this realistic? Maybe tonight I will still be looking for his white girl, sha. But maybe you would have seen, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that in whatever thing or whatever place we find ourselves, we need to be able to find a balance and filter information. For me, this was like the propaganda that I wish like we were like we knew about in the past. Like, okay, if we had known that, okay, we could have done this, we could have done that, we could have avoided this, we could have avoided that, we could have had this mentality instead of that mentality, it would have been a smooth transition for a lot of people, because people constantly and consistently they keep making mistakes before they get it right, and sometimes the mistake that they have made in the past had already cost them like a lot. So we need to be able to be in that position whereby what we're doing, it's not going to cause us a lot of problems, and we're going to be able to do things at the right time, at the right place, and everything. So that is me. That's what those are. If I had the opportunity to come back, to do this all over again, for sure, I'm not falling for that. I'm going to do these things my way, whatever. I'm going to sort out my own part of life on my own. I don't know, like through the help of God, through clear spirit, but just some advice or some things I would have just totally like avoided, some kind of mentality I would have shifted. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. Put it in the comment section. If you have something to add or subtract, let me know. Put it in the comment section. So I come here next time. Make sure you get our day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share if you find this video relatable and very interesting. Ciao, guys.